I don't know, I'm just upset. I failed. Again.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. TLC keeps finding ways to bring me back to our old pal Ed here, who I've made multiple videos on in the past, which are all hilarious in my opinion, so go catch up on his story if you're lost or haven't seen those. But keep watching if you know what's up, since he's about to have a full-on breakdown when he realizes that he has just lost Rose for good. Without further ado, let's check in with our necklace pal and see how he's been doing.
Last night, Rose and I got into a big fight because I didn't tell her before I came on this trip that I don't want more kids.
So as we left him last, he basically got scolded by Rose for lying to her face the entire time about wanting kids until it was time for him to go back home. Once again, I really don't get his strategy here. If he wanted her to actually fall in love with him, like let's actually recap how this trip went and see if he was successful with that. First, he came to where she lived and exposed instantly that he has been catfishing her in terms of, you know, how he looked and his height especially. She thought he was going to be way taller. Then he went to her home and village and basically pooped all over her culture while looking down on her the entire time. Went to her dad's farm then to try to prove himself and get his blessing to marry her, and made an absolute fool of himself there, and then stole her away when he got embarrassed for a trip within a trip and treated her like nothing but garbage the whole time, all while humiliating her multiple times on a show that he knew millions of people would watch. The fact that he's still unable to cope with this or even understand why it happened is crazy to me, and it shows that he might not have seen anything wrong with his actions somehow.
I'm gonna go back to our room and see if she'll talk to me.
Last time I checked, while he was sitting by the pool, she was hauling it back to their room and packing her things up in a flash so that she can leave without having to ever talk to him again. So he might have just missed her. Either way, let's see if he can get back to their room and somehow talk his way out of this. It's not looking likely since I think she is finally done with his crap, but it's worth a shot. Wow, so things already take a sad turn here, or at least for Ed, it's very sad, as I'm not really feeling emotions about this in the slightest. But yeah, like I thought, he just missed her and she's already in the car trying to get back home as we speak. This dude has had what, like 100 opportunities to tell her the truth or even apologize for the other stuff, since that was only the final straw and was amongst the many things that he did throughout their time together to make her sad and uncomfortable. And what did he do? He skipped out on every opportunity to tell her the truth and just kept lying to her face so that he can get exactly where he wants. And I mean, I expect now he's just going to whine the rest of the time as if he didn't see this coming at all, even though it's been inevitable since they first met. Yo guys, before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal, you just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it really works.
She said she wanted to leave, but she didn't even say goodbye.
Dude, I think her scolding you and telling you how badly she's been treated was a good enough goodbye for her. She didn't need to say anything else. She's moving on, and now you're gonna be stuck here wondering what went wrong, since you can't for some reason take any responsibility for your own actions, even in your 50s. Like, that's a skill you should have learned by now, and you don't see much wrong with your attitude. What doesn't help is that most of the people hyping this man up now that this show has gotten very viral, and he's probably the biggest star from it, they're treating him like some sort of hero, even though in my opinion he's made some villain moves throughout this saga. Like, he has not been the good guy throughout all of this.
It just hit me.
So after Ed spends a couple minutes in front of the sliding door of his hotel room, blowing out air directly into his lav mic as if he's trying to deflate the excess air around his neckline, he finally gets hit with the harsh reality of the situation. Rose is going back home, and unless they plan a reunion special that she's willing to be a part of, which I doubt, he's probably never going to see her again. This is heartbreaking, I'm sure, and I wouldn't wish this feeling on my worst enemy, but guys, even as the tears start rolling, you have to keep this in mind, the entire picture here, okay? Ed, like I said earlier, had nothing but opportunities to be good to her, and he spoiled almost every one of them. He was so not self-aware that he didn't even realize he was making these missteps, since apparently everyone else in his life just enables him to be like this, and he must see nothing wrong with it. No matter what, it still does feel pretty bad to see someone's heart broken though. I mean, it feels like the first night all over again when she storms off after dinner and he was just like, I just don't believe in love anymore.
I don't know, I'm just upset.
Yeah, this upset feeling you're feeling right now, that's kind of been the constant emotion for Rose for these past 2 weeks, or however long you've been spending together. Talk about getting a taste of your own medicine here. You know, I'm actually really glad Rose went out this way, since she got a clean exit, or at least as clean as you can get in this situation. She should have left much earlier, and he is slapped across the face with just how badly he messed up finally. He hasn't had to actually face any of the consequences of his actions, because up until this point, Rose kept forgiving him for some reason or another, but now he messed up so bad that she actually is finally left for good, and no poolside dinner or terrible foot rub can change that.
I failed. Again.
Dude, above anything else, I can see why Ed is famous though. I mean, at times, this man is actually super relatable. That shot of him just sadly exclaiming,
I failed. Again.
while like somberly staring across the room to a view of opposing budget hotel room windows is just pure poetry. I mean, we've all been there. And now that I think about it, he really does have the power to make me feel bad for him, even though I really shouldn't.
28 years is a long time to be single, and then you find something that you think is real, to later find out that it's not.
Wait, so this is a really confusing clip. He's talking about himself, but clearly, right here, he's showing a full lack of self-awareness once again. Dude, you are the one that made it not real. I don't care how long you've been single, don't flip this on Rose and act like she's the one that made your relationship fake. Your constant lying to her that stemmed from the very beginning of your relationship is what made it not real. I mean, maybe they need to replace these sliding doors with mirrors so you can look at yourself while you're saying this stuff. I mean, how delusional can you be, dude?
Rose is out.
Rose is out.
Yeah, she's... No Rose. No love.
Rose.
So now our boy Ed is back home and his mom is picking him up from the airport. And here once again, we see a terribly sad scene play out. Only sad for Ed, but still very emotional. Something about the subtleties of these scenes are just so funny to me. I mean, he's talking back to his mom in the middle of the airport, revealing this heartbreaking news that Rose has left him for good and things are not going to work out, while he's just like staring blankly into the void and thinking of how badly he messed up. Oh, at least he's able to get some puppy pets in to soothe him at least. But it's funny how this one story could have so many twists and turns, and honestly, like, props to TLC and their crew for not only knowing how to shoot these scenes to make them super intense when they don't need to be, but also the editors. I mean, this is like a soap opera at times. It's kind of mind-blowing.
I asked her, you know, what she wants out of our relationship, and that's when she told me, you know, she wanted 2 kids.
So interestingly, after getting a little sympathy tears from his mom in the airport, he now is driving home with her and begins to actually lie to her about how things went down, which is just another way to see how slimy Ed is at sometimes, bro. Like, just tell the truth to your own mom. You hid a big thing from Rose and made her think that she could have kids with you when you really weren't interested in that at all. Instead, he's acting like it was all a shock to him, and she revealed all of this to him once he was down there, even though it was really the other way around, and he knew the whole time.
She didn't think I trusted her. Does that make sense?
Oh man, I wonder why Rose wouldn't think Ed trusts her. That's like such a strange idea to me. I'm sure it wasn't him interrogating her about every single aspect of her life at every opportunity, right? Or it definitely wasn't him thinking the entire time that she was with him that she was in on some scam with her sister to steal all of his money. I mean, he still thinks he's the poor sad guy we should all feel bad for, but I think most people can realize just how wrong he's been acting this whole trip. I mean, I was reading a lot of the comments under these clips that TLC posted, and I think a lot of people are agreeing with me, and I'm sure after his mom watches this show, she will see things a lot more clearly.
I hate being single again. I had the best chance at love.
Funny thing to note here, notice how he says, I hate being single again, instead of, I hate that things didn't work out with Rose. You know what that goes to show? It's just how clearly he was using her to feel loved and didn't even care who she was really. As long as it was just a woman that could fake her love for him and he could like believe this delusion, he'd be happy.
I screwed up. What I want more than anything right now is to pick up my heart and move on.
They truly didn't know a thing about each other and could barely communicate or find common ground the entire time they were together. My man just really wanted some action, and yet he's acting like his heart is broken and he's gonna need some time before he can trust or love again. Sick of this fake facade that he's been putting up throughout this whole show. We all know why he was there.
But there's a big part of me that still hopes Rose might talk to me again.
So in the end, Ed still says that he hopes for some reason that Rose will begin to talk to him again, and I mean, he's just not stopping at any point. I guess her leaving in an instant without saying goodbye wasn't a good enough clue to him that she was absolutely done. I really hope for the sake of the show that she does not go back to him, because I truly think these people are better apart, even though it would make for some more good content. But I truly think she woke up from the delusion finally that she could stand being married to someone like that, and the last major lie he made to her was the final straw. I know I said this in my last 2 videos about him, that this was the end of the story, so I'm not even gonna proclaim that anymore, guys. Look, for all I know, this is part like 5 of 15 or something, dude. I swear these people will not call it quits. But anyways, that about does it for today's video. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.